Hello, K-Dog here, and today I want to review a video I did a while back covering the comfort changes I'd made to my 2014 Harley Tri-Glide. I want to compare the comfort changes I made to it, or that I was going to make, and how that relates or compares to my 2020 Spyder RT Limited. Alright, on my previous video on the Tri-Glide, I think point number one I made from a comfort perspective was the bike itself. And after my 4 back surgeries, I couldn't push the big bikes around. I couldn't manhandle them, so I had to quit riding. But I missed it so much. Started doing some research, and I looked into the trikes, and that's when I found this Harley trike 2014. I love it. I went from two-wheelers, which, don't get me wrong, totally love. I've had 7 or 8 bikes prior to getting 3-wheelers. But due to back problems, I had to move to something that was more comfortable. I started looking at 3-wheelers, and the Tri-Glide was an awesome fit. So the first point I made in the prior video was that I went to the Tri-Glide because it's a 3-wheeler, because it could get me out on the road riding again, and because it was so much more comfortable and not near as hard on my back as the 2-wheelers. In moving from the Tri-Glide to the Spyder, from a comfort perspective, the bike itself is built from the ground up to be a 3-wheeler, which is awesome. It comes with all kinds of changes that were add-ons for the Harley. So on the Spyder RT, for example, it comes with stability control, traction control, ABS, dynamic power steering, awesome things. Even the reverse on the Spyder, whereas on the Tri-Glide, the reverse is basically using the starter to kick in, and you kind of feel like you can't back up very far or very long without it wearing your starter out. On the Spyder, you actually have a reverse gear, so you can have a companion on the back with you. You can have the bike weighted down, and you can go in reverse anywhere, anytime, without feeling like you're really putting a strain on something like the starter. So those are the kinds of reasons that, comfort-wise, moving from a Tri-Glide to the Spyder was even another step up from why I originally went to a 3-wheeler, in that case the Tri-Glide. All right, point number 2 I made on the Tri-Glide, comfort-wise, was electronic cruise. Comfort number 2 on the 2014 trike is it has electronic cruise control. The 2014 Tri-Glide I had did have electronic cruise. Same thing on the Spyder RT Limited. It's got electric cruise, very easy to use, all the usual features. So I kind of have to give both of them an equal score when it comes to that. They both have cruise, it works great. I changed out the grips that were on the Harley trike with some ISO Boss grips. I've had this on the last 3 bikes I've had. I got the Kuryakin ISO Boss grips. On the Spyder RT, there is no need to do that at all. These grips work great. There's no, at least not near the vibration that I got on the trike. Heated grips, obviously, so if I changed out grips, I'd have to, make sure I still have heated grips and all that kind of stuff. But again, due to the much less vibration, really hardly any vibration at all, the comfort on these things, there's no need to do anything new with the grips. I'm not a buy grips for looks kind of person anyway. For me, it's all about comfort. And so I've got to give the Spyder an edge when it comes to the grips. Point number 4 I made in my Harley Trike Comfort Changes video was I put bigger, better floorboards on the Harley Trike. The bigger floorboards just make it easier for you to rest your feet, have more room, not have to feel like you got to put your feet in certain positions, especially on the longer rides. Here again, I've got to give a leg up to the 2020 Spyder RT Limited. The Limited actually comes with these bigger floorboards that give you tons of room. Even the boards, I think these are the stock rider boards, but even the boards on the rider side, there are plenty for her. Point number 5 I made on the Harley Trike video was highway pegs. Absolutely, when you're on longer rides and you want to be able to move your legs around, give your knees a rest, move them into a different position. Highway pegs are awesome. It's really the same deal on the Spyder RT Limited. The 2020 I've got, it does not come with highway pegs. They're super easy to add on, and they do exactly what you would expect them to do. I have not put them on yet, so it's kind of a tie there between the Tri-Glide and the Spyder RT. Both of them, from a comfort perspective, I definitely recommend adding floorboards, adding the highway pegs. Point number 6 I made was the backrest. On the Harley Tri-Glide, I did add a backrest. That was one of the very first things I did. This happens to be a Harley model backrest. Because of my back challenges and needing that kind of comfort and support on my lower back, I had to add a backrest, and I always will. On the 2020 Spyder RT Limited, it does not come with a driver backrest. It does come with the passenger backrest, obviously. So I did add a backrest on the RT Limited, just like I did on the Tri-Glide. Super comfy, does a great job, very adjustable. Even without the backrest, there's just enough lower lumbar support on the default seat that comes with the RT Limited that even it does a great job. The seat itself is super comfortable. Point number 7 I made was a windshield. On the Tri-Glide, I added a taller windshield. This is a Clockworks windshield. It's a little bit taller because that's the kind of riding I do. Much more, highway, longer distance road work than just short stuff. So I needed the better wind blockage and aero streaming that I get with a good quality shield. I have to give the edge to the Spyder RT Limited. The Spyder RT Limited, not only does it come with a great windshield, but the windshield it comes with is an electronic windshield, and I can control moving the windshield up or down anytime I want, and it's a good 3 inches of travel. It might be 3.5 inches, I don't remember for sure. So definitely love the electric adjustable windshield that comes with the Spyder over the custom windshield that I had to buy for the Tri-Glide. Point number 8 in my Tri-Glide comfort video, I actually bought and installed these DK Customs wind deflectors. Like you just saw, I added some DK Customs deflectors, some wind deflectors, that helped both move some air onto the engine to help keep the engine cool on the hotter days, but also the wind deflection I added from DK Customs, it helped some of the air that was getting up and hitting my helmet and causing helmet buffeting, wind buffeting. On the 2020 RT Limited, it comes with multiple wind deflectors already. There's this one here that's not adjustable, and there's this one here that's not adjustable. And that, in combination with the general aerodynamics of the Spyder RT itself, I don't get any wind buffeting. So I do have to give the edge there to the Spyder RT Limited. And I believe the 9th and final point I made in the Tri-Glide comfort change video was that I was looking at adding a lift kit to the back of the Tri-Glide. I'm going to put a lift kit in it, and I'm going to improve the rear suspension. That was kind of the final bigger, going to spend more money on the Tri-Glide. It could have been $1,000 for the lift kit, could have been $1,000 for improved suspension, could be a lot more than that depending on what I wanted to do. It's at that point, that was the real comfort I was looking for in terms of the ride itself. That was the point where I started looking and saying, okay, before I do that, is there something else I can look at, that has more of this comfort out of the box and I don't have to keep adding it? And that's when I actually did the research and found the Spyder and ended up buying this RT Limited. On this RT Limited, I don't have much to complain about at all. Again, it's got stability control, it's got traction control, it's got ABS, it's got power steering, it's got auto air leveling suspension in the back. It's got Brembo, brakes in the front. The sway bar, the default sway bar. So if you're on the heavier side on the bike when you're going around turns, it does kind of lean a little bit to the outside. And there are some great inexpensive options like, I think, Baja Ron's sway bars. There's some sway bar replacements you can do. And I might do that, but even not doing that, the comfort on this thing from a suspension perspective is just, I'm shocked actually that it's as good as it is out of the box. Very, very pleased with that. So I think that kind of covers all the same points I covered in my Tri-Glide video. When I go through and I compare, the three-wheeler itself, I got to give it to the Spyder RT from a comfort perspective. When I look at electric cruise, they both had cruise, so that's kind of a no-brainer. The grips, I did change the grips out on the trike to try to help with the vibration. I really don't have to do that on the RT Limited. I like what it is, but because I have less vibration too. So I got to give the edge to the trike. I got to give the edge to the RT Limited there. The floorboards, the bigger floorboards for the rider, kind of got to give the edge to the RT Limited too. It came with the bigger floorboards versus I had to add bigger ones on the Tri-Glide. Highway pegs, you got to add highway pegs to both of them, and I will end up probably doing that on the RT Limited. Backrest, same deal, kind of a tie. I had to add it to both. I believe the 2024 Sea and Sky, the latest, highest end model of the RT Limited, I believe it does come with a backrest, but I don't think they do prior to 2024 if I remember correctly. So it's kind of a tie there as well. Windshield, I got to give it to the RT. It comes with an adjustable electric windshield, shaped pretty well, goes pretty high, adjusts at least 3 inches, maybe 3.5 inches, which is just great. I don't have to swap out windshields, so I got to give the edge there to the RT Limited. And then the overall suspension, again, I was going to add lift kit, look at adding, changing the shocks out on the trike. I just don't need to do that. I may put some Baja Ron sway bars on this, but I don't need to spend a whole bunch of money over what I've already got. So that's it. That's my comparison of the comfort changes video I did on the trike and how that compares with the comfort I've got and any potential changes from a comfort perspective I've got on the RT. Hope you found it helpful. If you did, I would love a subscribe, a like, thumbs up. Love to see your comments. What's your experience been? What do you like or not like about your RT or about your trike for that matter? Thanks for spending some time with me on the video, and hey, ride safe.